Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of r/slash Tales from Tech Support. In today's episode, why did my report change? Angry sales manager said. Prosecution presents into evidence Exhibit A, bloody glass, and Exhibit B, an S-print. Before we get started, make sure to subscribe so you will never miss a video. So let's get started. Why did my report change? Angry sales manager said. I sometimes work with customizing BI reports/visualizations for our clients. Today I got an email request to do a minor change from the sales manager at one of our clients. From previous interactions, I already knew this guy tends to be very unspecific and blunt in his requests. Now, BI can be a very complicated field, and it's not uncommon to go through misunderstandings and lots of back and forth with the client to get the correct end result, but in this case it's a very simple report and scenario, so it should be easy enough to follow. Just imagine an order report that is simply a table of 3 columns: customer name, the date of the order, and the amount of the order. This report is sorted by the order amount, and is cut off at 10 orders. So the point of the report is to show the largest 10 orders this month, which is why it's titled Top 10 Orders. Client: Hi, I would like to have the top 10 orders report changed to be sorted by date instead of amount. To sort the entire table by date, all I basically have to do is click the date column, which was my first instinct, but I quickly realized that was probably not actually what he wanted, or so I thought. Okay, no problem. Now the current use of the report is to show the 10 largest orders this month, so if I change the sorting to date it wouldn't actually show the largest orders anymore, since there are obviously way more than 10 orders in the system. Or when I think about it, I guess what you are asking is that it should still display the top 10 orders, but out of those 10 it is sorted by date. Is that correct? That's gonna take a little more work, but I can get it done within the hour. Client: No, you misunderstand. Doesn't matter if it's the top 10 orders or not. I just want it to sort by date, so that the last order is at the top. Okay, so you just want the report sorted by date even if it's not the 10 largest orders this month. No problem, but I guess that changes the purpose of the report, so maybe it should be titled Latest 10 Orders instead. Are you sure you don't want this a separate report so you can still have the top 10 orders in place? Client: Why are you making this so complicated? Just give me the report sorted by date, it shouldn't be that hard. Alright. So I'll sort it by date, and I won't rename it, and I'll call you when it's done in a few minutes, and then you can let me know if the end result is how you wanted it. Okay? Client: Fine. Now I very well knew that this was not going to turn out as he wanted, whatever it is that he wanted. But I was so dumbfounded at the lack of understanding, so I thought it's better if he just saw for himself. I clicked date column to sort by it, and saved the report, and of course the orders in the table are now simply the latest 10 orders in the system, not the largest ones. Which really irks me when the report is called Top 10 Orders, but that is how he said he wanted it. I call the customer. Okay, it's done, take a look if you can. Client: But this is not the same report as earlier? Why did it change? Well, we changed the sorting. Other than that, it's exactly the same. Client: How can you say it's exactly the same? None of the customers I had in the report previously are there now? I specifically remember having customer X, customer Y, and customer Z in the report, but they're not there anymore. Well, I would assume that's because those customers aren't among the last 10 customers to have purchased something. Client: Why does that make a difference? I just told you to make the same report sorted by date. This was my initial concern. That's why I asked if you want the largest top 10 orders in the table, and then those 10 orders were sorted by date. We can do that if you want, no problem. Client: And I already told you it doesn't matter if it's the top 10 orders. The last order to come through should be at the top. And if you look at it now, is the top order not the last order? At this point I can practically hear the logical meltdown through the phone. We still went through a couple of back and forths, and I'm still not sure what he actually wanted, but I honestly don't really think he knew himself. We ended up not touching the report anymore, even though I strongly suggested to rename it so that others wouldn't be confused by the title, which does not correspond with the result set anymore, but he wouldn't hear any of that. Prosecution presents into evidence Exhibit A, bloody glass, and Exhibit B, an S print. Yes, I know the title is misspelled. Roast away. TLDR at bottom. This story involves the same school district as my last story. This time it was the high school with the issue. Think this was early 2010s when this story happened. The office received a call Monday morning asking for a tech to come down and check a couple of machines that had been vandalized over the weekend. Apparently, a couple teenagers broke into the one supply room and trashed a copier and a duplicator. Lucky me got the job. I arrive and am shown the disaster zone. The duplicator was scrap, it got shoved down a winding staircase and was utterly destroyed. Looked like they went to each landing and kept kicking it down the stairs till it hit bottom. There was ink everywhere. Thank God I didn't have to clean that up, but I do feel for the janitor that did. Onto the copier, the document glass was broken, the control panel had soda poured on it, orange judging by the color and smell, and the front cover/door was broken off. I proceed to pick all the glass out of the optics section. There was a couple pieces that had blood on it, so I set those aside. I pulled the control panel off and took it all apart, cleaned all the contacts and switches, got all the stickiness off the panel and buttons, and then put it back on. I tricked the door actuator just to get the machine powered onto what all error codes showed up. Multiple jams throughout the machine, so I go fishing, jams in the side, under the drum, and one about 3/4 of the way through the fuser. Now if you read the title, I'm sure you all know what was on the print sitting in the fuser, a nice clear S print. My guess is whoever broke the copier was making a copy of there, but it was hopping off the glass when the glass broke, cutting up there, but the front cover got knocked open and broken off when they were getting off the machine. They probably poured soda on the controls thinking it'd kill the machine. Again, I'm just guessing. I tossed the evidence into a clear paper protector to keep the bottom section from smearing toner, and put the bloody glass in a Ziploc bag and start closing up the machine to see what works, if anything. Amazingly, the copier still worked, the start button worked, but the touch panel and other sections were fried. You could put something in the document feeder, and it would make a single copy of what you put in. The doc feeder uses a small strip of glass up to the side, and it was still intact. And everything internally was fine other than needing a new front door/cover. I write up what all the machine needs and head to the office with evidence in tow. Our intrepid tech, who has seen way too many stupid things to be surprised by any of this. S. Secretary. P. Principal. Okay, good news and bad news. The duplicator is not even worth looking at, but the copier is salvageable with some parts and TLC. S. Oh good, we were hoping it wouldn't be a complete loss. The principal wanted to talk to you once you were done, let me get him. About 5 minutes pass and the secretary shows me to the principal's office. P. So what's the situation? I'm going to need estimates on repairs. We think we know who did it, but are still looking into it. I explained what all was wrong with the copier and duplicator. P. Okay, just estimate a whole new control panel. Insurance will be covering it if we don't catch who did it, but if we do, their parents will be. Okay, that won't be a problem. I have some evidence that may help you figure out who did it. P. Evidence? I showed him the bloody glass and then the butt print. P. Oh my God. Well, that should help, I think. Thanks for taking a look at things. Can you email me the estimate here? And he handed me a business card. Sure thing. After I got back to the shop, I emailed the estimate, and we got the go-ahead within a couple of days to fix the copier. I got to go back and fix everything up about 2 weeks later, had some interesting news when I got done with repairs, and went to get paperwork signed. Morning P, everything is all fixed up. How'd you make out with your investigation? P, oh it was quite interesting. We had a couple students in with their parents asking them questions. The kids were denying everything till I brought up the bloody glass and the butt print. The one boy's parents immediately started yelling at him. I guess he lied and made up some excuse why he needed to have some sticks in his butt. His dad went ballistic and said he'd be paying for everything if he didn't fess up and say who was all involved. Turns out it was the two other boys there and one other who didn't get caught. The others confirmed and the parents ended up having to split the bill. I could hear the parents yelling on the way out that the kids were making up for every penny they had to pay for their stupidity. Well, I'm glad you caught who did it. You have a good day and thanks for the laugh. Wish I could have been a fly on the wall when that all went down. TLDR, some idiots high schoolers broke into their school and broke some equipment. One of them broke the copier and cut his butt making copies and then had to get sticks. They got caught after the principal brought up the butt print and broken glass. Parents make them pay for damages.